I'm going to present a short poem. Are we ready for a poem this afternoon? Fabulous. So, here we go. Shakespeare's Juliet once asked the question, what's in a name? And she asserted that a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. And with the certainty of the sun rising from the east and setting in the west, she surmised that the beauty of the rose gave identity to the name, and as such, true value is in the actual rose than in the name that it was bequeathed with. As if in retaliation to Shakespeare, Jerry Spinelli wrote, "My name is something I wear, like a shirt. It gets worn, I outgrow it, I change it." And in true Spinelli like fashion, we are here today to celebrate a name that was worn, outgrown, and has now been changed. Rebranding is the name of the game. When the purpose and actions have outgrown the name, we rebrand to a brand new identity. In industry, be it manufacturing, transport, healthcare, you name it, names get changed when destinies are at stake and we stake our lives in service provision and purpose served. Rebranding is to do justice to that which has obviously been marginalized to the doldrums of non recognition, but through resilience, diligence, and the audacity to hope, the entity has brought itself to contention, recognition, and forced cognition. Today, we celebrate rebranding, value addition, and a change in identity as we recognize the fruition of Richard Grant's observation that the value of identity, of course, is that so often with it comes purpose. May I introduce myself? My name is Nkosiazi Pansi. I love my name. It carries the weight of my identity on its broad shoulders and will not bow down to the pressure exerted on it by nonchalant mispronunciation and nuanced politeness. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here to serenade my name, nor am I here to engage in lugubrious pontification about my name, because there is a name that is higher than my name. There is a name that is bigger than my name. There is a name that speaks better things than my name. There is a name we are here to celebrate, to uplift, to honor, and to commemorate. There is a name that has been ameliorated, enriched, and revolutionized to restore identity, reorganize perceptions, and enhance the adjustment, modification, and total transmutation from identity crisis to identity clarity, precision, and transparency. The name has taken a scenic route to capture true identity, diversity, and cultural heritage through mountains of imagination, rivers of tears, and twisting trails and paths of resilience. It has encountered a people battered by racial bias and ravished by illicit delusions of grandeur and flags flying at half-mast. Confucius once said, "The beginning of wisdom is to call things by their proper name." Today, we acknowledge that unfortunately, we will all die. But get this, death cannot kill the good name that we are celebrating. When I pondered this poem, I considered using a pseudonym, which ironically is writing under a false name so that one may write more truthfully. But naked truth be told, there is no merit in pseudonyms, for the matter at hand is clear for all to see. You see, when the works speak for themselves, there is no need for hide and seek antiques. Indeed, actions speak louder than words. Or as we say, where I come from, izenzo kungemazwi. In other words, to all you illustrious staff and service providers, thank you for your inspired, unparalleled, and exceptional service in these trying times. Through your diligence, this name change has forced itself to the front of the recognition queue. It is true what they say. If you think you're too small to make a difference, try spending the night with a mosquito. Today we celebrate a name change from KMPT, Black, Asian, and Minority Ethnic Network to Global Majority BAME Network. Because a good name is rather to be chosen than riches, so said the wise man Solomon. Global Majority BAME Network is a collective proper noun that first and foremost speaks to and encourages those purported to think of themselves as belonging to the majority on planet Earth. It refers to people who are black, African, Asian, brown, of dual heritage, indigenous to the global south, and or have been racialized as ethnic minorities. Global Majority Network is a name that rights wrongs. It is a name that rebalances the scales, for unbalanced scales are an abomination. It is a name that recognizes that across the globe, the so-called ethnic minorities are actually the majority, representing approximately 80% of the world's population. It is a name that takes the global identity stage by storm. It is a name that sets the stage for the future. It is a name that challenges political rhetoric and fear-mongering. It is a name that challenges stereotypes. It is a name that disrupts the current toxic narrative and moves the conversation away from the margins to the center and adds value to what we as a collective group of rich, diverse heritages potentially bring to KMPT. Global Majority Network does not, therefore, eradicate specific ethnic identities. It does, however, have the potential to connect, illuminate, and amplify the voices of the majority. In this Black History Month of October 2025, we seek to celebrate diversity in unity of purpose. Global Majority Network is a unifying name that allows us to script a new identity in indelible ink in the hearts, minds, and souls of those that make Kent and Medway Mental Health NHS Trust the success story that it is. The name is a symbol of hope, a celebration of new beginnings, and a culmination of vision and courage. It is a source of pride, restoration of dignity, and revitalization of respectability. New beginnings have fostered a name change. For as they say, if a chameleon wants to escape the burning bush, it must first abandon the majestic walk of his forefathers. Ladies and gentlemen, we are celebrating the good new name. Allow me as we do so to celebrate some of the formidable, remarkable, and mesmerizing people who have made this name change and transition not only a possibility, but a reality. Serena, you are a stalwart. Glenda Botel, you are dependable. Sadie Frederick, you are uncompromising. Teresa Abasolamanari, you are indomitable. And Andy Annette, you are unmatchable. But to the rest of the workforce and service providers, you are unconquerable, you are uncompromising and invincible, unprecedented, unsurpassable, and unapologetic. You are unrivaled, unequaled, and unparalleled. You are irreplaceable, irrepressible, and irreproachable. The age-old adage speaks and goes. Actions speak louder than words. For indeed, where deeds speak, words have nothing to say. So I call upon all of us here present to celebrate, to make some noise, and to raise the roof, to praise, to proclaim, and to jubilate, to live it up, to let loose, and to have a ball, to applaud, extol, and exalt, to cheer, to compliment, and commend all the hard-working staff and service providers of KMPT, because their sheer determination, discipline, and diligence have fostered a name change. For the name as it was could no longer encapsulate the wondrous, phenomenal, and extraordinary work that you do. And like a volcano that is active, your hard work first rumbled under the surface, but the fabric of the old name could not hold it, and it ripped through, spewing hot lava of hot and good work. And it forced a rename of the characters that make the name. If I was Ndebele, Swati, or Zulu, I would say Nyabonga. If I was Kalanga, I would say Ndoboka. If I was Nyanja, I would say Zikomo. If I was Swahili, I would say Asante. If I was Chewa, I would say Zimomo. If I was Japanese, I would say Arigato. If I was Setswana, I would say Kialeboha. If I was Shona, I would say Ndatenda Mazwita. If I was Bambara, I would say Aniche. If I was Kinyarwanda, I would say Urakoze. If I was Luganda, I would say Webale. If I was Venda, I would say Ndolevua. If I could speak Mandarin, I would say Shishini. If I could speak Arabic, I'll say shukran. Bengali, I cannot speak, but if I could speak it, I would say donobad. If I could speak Gujarati, I'd say danyabad. If I was from Indonesia or Malaysia, I'd probably say terima kasih. And if I could speak Pashto, I would say manana. Punjabi, I cannot speak, but if I could say tuhad danyabad. If I was Tagalog Filipino, I would probably say salamat po. If I was Vietnamese, I would say come on ban. But my all-time favorite that rhymes with my name, if I was Xhosa, I would say Nkosi. But since I am none of these and all of these in one go, for we are united in diversity, I will say this. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you from 75 different countries, diverse and rich cultural heritages, to one inclusive Kent and Medway NHS Trust, the Global Majority Network. Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Well done. Well done. Well done. Oh, that was amazing. Oh my goodness.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Kosi, that was fantastic. That was just, you could just see the chat room going.
Thank you.
I mean, when you turned up with your outfit, I knew it was going to be spectacular, but this just blew our minds. And we tried to record it, but I know there's a transcript going on, but this was just amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
I'll send you the audio. I've got it recorded.
Oh, please do. Please do. We would
Will
love to
do.
play it back. It was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Wow, guys. What a celebration. What a celebration of Black History Month. Wow. In line, just continue on the theme of working together and standing firm in power and pride. We have our